how much can you pay your kids tax-free? I'm asked this question all the time by my adult folks who are in the big table working to become millionaires or already are millionaires. And they always want to know, how do I pay my kids without them having to file tax before they're 18 years old? So let's get to it. How do you hire your kids and actually work on a proper savings, what I'm going to say, whether it's college or just later life account? And I have lots of options and some free apps that I want you to download. And we're going to talk about the exact amount, how to hire them. The second thing I want to talk about are the income thresholds, and more importantly than the expense deductions that can go along with it. And by the way, my joke is if you don't have kids, you should get them. They're tax deductible if you do all of this right. And the last thing we'll talk about are just smart financial moves for your kids. To begin this, how do you hire your kids and how do you create some sort of a savings? Well, number one, I'm going to go through the exact rules because every year the IRS is changing their number. It used to be $12,555. You'll see that on my channel from 2022. 2023, you can hire up to $13,850. This is your company paying them as a W-2 employee. $14,600 is the new amount for 2024. So just divide $14,600, or like I tell a lot of parents that don't want to do a lot of monthly payroll, is just divide the 14,600 by 12. And I would do maybe quarterly. So cut them like 4 checks. And the reason for that is you want that money getting to work in compounding power. So one of the things I want you to do is get a compounding calculator immediately. And I want you to put in $14,600. And let's just say you do that. Now the amounts might go up in 2025 and however old they are, but let's just say for $14,600, you're going to have a little bit of tax taken out. And then you want to actually maximize the Roth IRA, because with that money, you have a W-2 paycheck. It legalizes them to get a Roth IRA. So you want to get the Roth and get it set. So as you pay them, you want to at least pay them, which $14,600 is plenty to completely fund their Roth. The balance of that could either go into an account to actually start some savings investment accounts. And in the description below, I'm giving you a free app called iFlip. If you haven't got it, go get it. Get one for you and all your kids and start loading them up. If you become a client, when you come farther in, you're going to get better and better deals on all these different resources that I have. But for today, it's free and it gets you at least started. So of that $14,600, you have a little tax. $7,000 will go to fund completely their Roth for 2024. You always want to fund it as much as you can. And if you make enough money, do it. Have the kids start making money. I have a whole playlist on how kids can make money, and that's all been updated. So go grab our playlist and check that out. But seriously, like, these kids can make money and you have to give them some tasks. So whatever they do, my kids have typically done marketing. Typical administrative things. My son was willing to get on the phone and set appointments, work on calendars, work on travel. What else can your kids do based on their skill sets? Other legal things just to note, and again, I'm going to read this so you're really clear. Payments for services of children under 18 are exempt from Social Security and Medicare taxes. So if it's just a sole proprietor or partnership of the child's parents. So as you bring through that income, the other income you can do if you want to do more is you can do things through irrevocable trust, through life insurance as another way to give more to the kids and put it in their trust. They cannot get that until you pass, or when the trust defines that can have that, or you can just do gifting. So gifting, again, it goes up between $15,000. Sometimes it drops to $12,000, sometimes it's $17,000. But gifting is another way to start stocking up these kids' accounts and get some of the tax away from you and the income you're making. The one thing our tax strategists do, we follow the IRS guideline completely, which is 81,000 pages of code. So make sure you're getting some counsel from our team's mentorship from me on how to do this. I've paid my kids since they were born 0 years old. The next thing let's talk about is, again, kids can earn up to $14,600, right, as far as income thresholds. And the first $1,150 of unearned income, interest, dividends, it's not taxed. The next $1,150 is taxed at the child's tax rate. So one of the tips that my strategist has worked with my kids for most of their life is under 7 is usually a threshold for income that's a little rougher to find. So I always tell parents, if you are in a marketing, real estate, whatever kind of business you're in, how can your kids become models? And you put them into your marketing, you put them on your websites, you include them in some sort of a family-friendly environment for marketing. And then from 7 to 14, obviously there's tasks that are associated. And 14 and up, They're on their way to adulting, so we got to start growing them up. And I am a huge fan, if you read my Make Your Kids Millionaires book, giving kids a credit card around 12, 13 years old. So yes, it is your card. You can put an expense limit on it, like $250 or $500, whatever you're going to allocate or allow them to spend. Number one, I did it earlier for my daughter, emergencies, needs food, needs to buy some whatever she needs to buy for school, so she has an ability to continue to move if I'm not available. So some of you've restricted your kids so far, and there's so many cashless places right now. You've got to start setting that up. And the last thing you want to do is hand your kids a bunch of credit cards at 18 years old as they're walking out the door and they're uneducated and have no idea how to manage it. Worst thing you could do. Between 18 and 22, my son was offered over 6,000 solicitations for credit cards, over 6,000 in 4 years. So they're going to be pummeled to death. You'd better keep it home and start organizing them earlier, the better. The one thing you have to pay attention to if you're paying through your business or however you're paying, whether it's never pay your kids an allowance through one of your companies, is that you don't go over that income threshold and get into a taxable rate. They'll just have to file earlier tax returns. The other mistake that I see a lot of parents make is you're not realizing the insurance cost to an irrevocable trust of them being the beneficiary has to come either from you and or them, which again, I use a lot of gifting strategies to actually load up their life insurance policies for those irrevocable trusts. So again, a lot of strategies, a lot of things I talk about. As you know, I call this internet the bathroom wall. Anybody can write anything. There's a lot of misinformation in the health space, in the wealth space. So pay attention. Due diligence isn't what websites say about people. It's called get on the phone and actually understand the truth of income and taxes. We have the best in the world. Now, before I go to my last point, I want you to subscribe to this channel. Be here 5 days a week. We are going on our 3rd year. So excited about being here to support you and your families in financial literacy. So we have journals. You can grab them in the link below. Also, if your kids are excited about making new money and understanding it, we do an event once a month. You can grab a couple tickets again in the description below for free. Come to our Millionaire Intensive and put your kids in the marketplace. What a great way for them to understand marketing and sales. With those skill sets, your kids will be the wealthiest in the world. And if you're running a business and you don't have marketing and sales, you need to be there because we need to ramp up your revenue. Now, the last point are just smart financial moves. Like I said, go grab an iFlip account. Now, if you actually go set up a Roth IRA, you can set up a free Roth for your kids at iFlip. But Roth money is qualified money. So your kids would have a personal account and a Roth account. So they'd have 2 iFlip accounts. You would have a personal account and a Roth account. You'd have a personal and maybe a Roth and a business account. So again, it's not uncommon for people to end up with 5, 6, 10 iFlip accounts because the money's different. Your personal money is different than qualified money, which is Roths and 401ks, different than company money that you don't want to pull out and be taxed on. So be very mindful and teach your kids, draw things out for them. I draw them very, very clearly out in the book. So from the Millionaire Maker to the Make Your Kids Millionaires books, there's graphs and drawings in all of my books, and go grab them. Go get them and consume them. And we're doing a huge game special. We're down to around 800 games left in my inventory. So grab a game. There's a huge special in the link below and put it around the kitchen table. Go play the game. And if you need to get warmed up on game playing because it's been a minute and you've been on this lovely device more than you've been out here talking, then grab Monopoly, get a little warm-up act, and then put the Millionaire Maker at your table and really learn those smart financial moves of what does it take? What are the components that it takes to become a millionaire? What do you need to be paying attention to? So again, grab that compounding calculator. If your kids are not excited about money, get them excited by doing a compounding calculator and saying, if we just put away $14,600 a year, minus a little bit in taxes, so call it 13 just for easy math, $13,000 a year for 20 years at say 12, 13%. What does that get your kids? I promise you, it's probably going to be upward. It's between $500,000 and $1 million, depending on what you put away. You can do this if I can do this. Remember, I'm a farm girl from Nebraska. If you have any questions, go to AskLoral.com, AskLoral. Ask questions, make a request, and we're here every day.